Come in.
Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Diana from Reliaquest, very nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. I'm Sam.
Perfect.
Sam
So
Whirling.
I have my business card here in case you have any further questions.
Oh,
on this
wonderful,
meeting.
wonderful. I don't have any cards on me, but I'd be more than happy to email you my contact information.
Perfect, good to know.
Certainly.
So how was your Labor Day weekend?
It was well. Just did some relaxing in South Florida, visited some family, friends, hung out by the beach and just kind of see what the locals were doing. So it was a good time. How about
That's
yourself?
great. I'm glad you got to celebrate it. I spent all day doing work, so unfortunately it wasn't as fun as yours, but
Okay, fair.
regardless. So how long have you been working for Virgin Voyages?
Only about 15 months, relatively new.
Okay, perfect. So we still got a lot to learn, but
Yeah.
what got you into that line of business?
Well, I went to school at Florida State. I studied cybersecurity. And ultimately, I heard about this startup. I was very interested in being able to start something from the ground up and be part of that. And so that's where I found the opportunity at Virgin Voyages.
Definitely, that's really great to hear.
Mhm.
So I heard we have 15 minutes for this meeting today. Does that
Correct.
sound good to you?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So to introduce myself, I am a business development representative for Reliaquest.
Okay.
I have recently graduated from UCF and I got recruited into Reliaquest. I work alongside Mr. Tim, who is the senior account director. So I really enjoy the company so far.
That's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And something that I really realized is that they really put a lot of value into the people that they work with. They have an average 3-year retention rate for the employees and the customers. So they definitely are looking for long-term relationships and just put a lot of effort into that.
That sounds great.
But yeah, so I want to start off by just asking a couple questions, getting a feel for what your concerns are regarding your security systems.
Okay.
And then maybe we can see how I'd be able to help you out today. And if everything does go well today, will you be able to make a purchasing decision?
Actually, I'm not the one that makes the final purchasing decision. There is another individual, the CTO, actually, that is the final decision maker for that. But yeah, we can talk about that if need be.
Perfect. Yes, sounds great.
Okay,
So
perfect.
I'm going to start off by asking a couple questions. So what type of security tools do you currently have in place?
Actually, we're just using standard security right now. Nothing out of box, just based on what we have in our technology.
Okay, perfect. And then how many security alerts does your company receive per month?
Goodness, that's a great question. Well, we're fairly new, as you know. And so right now we're actually just looking to evaluate what technologies exist.
Okay.
Based on that, we don't really have much of a benchmark. You know, we just had our flagship voyage just take place a few months ago.
Okay.
And so ultimately, we're looking to try and establish a benchmark, and we're looking at other companies within the industry to kind of set that standard.
Okay, great. So you're kind of going with the flow with that. And then on average, how long would you say that it takes to receive an alert for a potential breach if you were to receive one?
Well, honestly, I could tell you that they're taking too long.
Okay.
You know, it definitely varies. Like I said, been based on some of our research and some of the initial experiences. We want to make the response time a lot shorter.
Okay, so definitely looking for a shorter response.
Mhm.
And then, so you aren't able to act on these alerts immediately, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and then those alert systems could be some potential attacks. So have you experienced any security attacks or any security breaches lately at all?
We haven't had any security breaches, but I've had some concerns about what's been going on in the industry recently. And so I'm taking a very proactive approach to protecting the information for not only our passengers' personal information, but also credit card information.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big thing. And so my next question kind of goes along with that, where like working for a cruise line company, you do work with a lot of passengers.
Absolutely.
And so there's a lot of sensitive information that are stored on devices, correct?
Definitely.
And would that cause a very harmful effect if it was to get breached for your company?
Oh, absolutely. And that's my sole responsibility, is preventing that from happening.
Okay, good to know. So could these private customer information breaches lead to bad report for your company? Do you agree with that?
Certainly, especially that us being a startup, we're still in the position of trying to establish credibility. And so it would probably be twice as impactful to not only the company's brand, but also just our operations in general. That's why I'm taking a proactive approach to prevent that from happening.
Right. So to kind of summarize, you have standard security tools.
Yep.
However, I'm sure you're looking to hopefully integrate some more into the future, correct?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, we're obviously shopping around to see what's in our budget.
Right.
And because we're so new, we want to make sure that we're making the right decision based on our budget. But that's correct information, yeah.
Okay, and then how would you say how many, and with the alerts that you guys have going on, there's definitely a lot that you haven't been receiving immediate. So we definitely want to work on immediate responses, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so would you say that a cybersecurity system that integrates all the security tools into one platform and also offers immediate alerts, would that be beneficial for your company?
Yeah, I definitely would think it's a lot easier to have an all-in-one for sure. And the immediate alerts is what's key, because right now our response times are my biggest concern. If and when something were to happen, we want to be able to address it as soon as possible.
I agree. Okay, so regarding that, would you allow me to present some information regarding our company?
Let's go for it. Absolutely.
Okay,
Be
so
happy.
I have this sheet for you right here.
Okay.
So to begin with, the first question is from a research from 451, and they
Okay.
asked, what are your organization's top 3 pain points regarding security operations? And so a lot of these companies said that their first pain point was the inability to get security products to integrate together.
Okay.
And so that's a big thing that we like to tackle with ours, would just be the integration of these security tools. We definitely want to focus on managing alerts, especially with your company. You say that these alerts take a long time and that a lot of the times there aren't immediate responses with them.
Right.
So with that same company, we found that 43% of enterprises are unable to act on at least 25% of the alerts generated by security products. What that means is that 25% of these alerts are completely invisible, they're not being acted upon, and they definitely could lead to potential security breaches or security attacks. So it's a little bit scary.
Yeah, that's higher than I expected.
Right, and this is increasing pressure on the security teams. This is making these visibility gaps even greater, and it's losing control for the company. So it can definitely lead to more dangerous things. So if you take a look at the bottom of that sheet, it just kind of shows a rough outline of how Greymatter works.
Okay.
I'd say the biggest thing that we focus on is just being able to provide analysts with the information to detect, to investigate, to respond, to automate data for the future. And so we focus on having proactive hunts. So we're constantly looking for threats and looking for ways to take control and take action from that. And a big thing is that we look at the analytics and the overall health of the security operation and see how we can improve it. Any gaps that we may have, we love to fill that. So it's an overall system that's going to help organize, help decrease the risk, and help create more efficient value for your company. So regarding that, do you have any questions about our product specifically?
Well, I love the idea that it's all in one, but I'm also noticing that it seems to have a lot of other additional features and technology, which quite honestly is great, but I know would obviously contribute to the cost.
Right.
So I'm just a little bit concerned that if the solution is providing a lot more capabilities than what we're really looking for, it might be a cost issue.
Right.
That, and also I'm really interested in being able to prioritize. So if you can tell me a little bit about just the threat intelligence itself, would there be a way for me to, if I do get my threat alerts and the team is aware as quickly as possible, my goal is to try and prioritize and identify the most serious intrusions first.
Okay.
Right? Is that something that Greymatter can help with?
Yes, so they definitely look to sift through what is important and what isn't. And so that's a big thing with security teams that they find themselves, is that they have so much information that it's hard to see which ones are the actual important ones and which ones aren't.
That's exactly what
So
we're doing.
they take every single security alert as a serious one and then kind of determine from there whether it's something that needs to have immediate action or not.
Okay.
So that is something that we definitely want to stress the importance of, especially with an upstart. We definitely want to make sure that your systems with all the private customer information is protected just in case.
Okay.
So regarding your pricing information, I do want to kind of give you an idea of how we price our things.
Okay.
So there's 3 different things that do go into the pricing. And the first thing would be the integrated technologies that we have. So depending on your company and which ones you already have, it already depends on the price.
Okay.
And you said that you don't have too many security tools to begin with.
That's correct.
So this is going to make your costs a lot lower in the beginning. Because it is $5,000 per year per technology piece. So since you don't have as many to begin with, it is going to make it a little bit easier, and you're not going to be spending as much money right in the beginning.
Understood.
Another thing that we like to focus on is just the amount of devices being used.
Okay,
Again, your company, it's not too like big right now,
Yeah.
so essentially you're gonna be saving a lot of money in that as well. And then lastly would just be the employees. You get $23.50 per employee. So with all of this combined, it's hard to give you an exact estimate of what you'd be spending, but that could definitely be something we speak about in a next meeting, just to get a better clarification on what essentially we'll be spending for our product and our services.
okay,
But overall, I do want to just build the value on the company, and definitely with threat intelligence, threat detection, immediate
Definitely.
alerts and things like that.
perfect. No, that's very helpful. I appreciate that.
Of course. And then was there any other questions that I can help clarify for you?
Not that I have at the moment. I mean, ultimately, as you know, my sole responsibility is to protect the information and taking more of a proactive approach to that.
Right.
And really just trying to do our due diligence to see, what kind of solutions are out there, what value we can find for our budget.
Okay.
So.
Great. And so before I finish off, I do want to give you just a little bit of information, just so you feel a little bit safer with our company.
Okay,
We have already been working with a lot of name brands, as you can see here, and they have seen a lot of action with our product. And we have, like I said, an average 3-year retention rate with customers and with employees.
Mhm.
So they have used our product, and they have realized that it is definitely helping. It's helping reduce the risk. It's helping them grow their company and get a better security team.
okay,
So some of the companies in the past have gotten data breaches, and so it emphasizes the importance of just having great security, cybersecurity, and just having that in place to avoid any loss of social security, account information, credit cards, all of that stuff.
absolutely.
So that just kind of ties all that in. Other
If you
than
don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
how long has Reliaquest been in business?
we have been in business for not too long, but it's
Okay.
definitely one of those companies that we are growing slowly, and the
Okay.
more people that we work with, the better reviews that we have, and everyone just gets a little bit more information from us.
Certainly. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Other than that, is there anything else that I can help answer and clarify for you?
Well, one of the things that I need to do is make sure that the system that we decide to integrate is not only PCI compliant, but PII compliant. So those two are big concerns for me, just in terms of the level of compliance obligations.
Okay. And PII compliant, what does that stand for again?
To be honest, it's a little technical for me, so I would probably have to connect and bring in an IT person.
Okay.
That's the gentleman, by the way, that the CTO, Tim, Chris Thorpe. He's the one that's responsible for primary decision making. But he would be the subject matter expert to be able to provide, because it's a little technical at this point in terms of the integrations and all those technologies.
Right.
I just knew to ask if that's something that you guys, would be able to help with or not.
By the next meeting, if we do end up having another meeting with him, I
Okay.
do definitely want to get more information on that, so I can clarify that to you.
Okay.
So it's a little bit technical for me as well. So
Absolutely,
I'll
yeah,
definitely
that's
have
why we
all my
hire those
homework
people,
done.
right?
Yeah, I'll have all my homework done by next time, I promise.
That's totally fair. I appreciate that.
So since I've shown you the value that Greymatter can have for your company, and the reduced in risk and cybersecurity and everything like that, I definitely suggest that we meet up next week. Again, we can talk more about specifics regarding pricing. We can talk more about that question, and we just have more information with everybody in here that we'd be able to make a decision for.
Okay, and that sounds good.
Alrighty.
So basically what I'll do is, if you could just send me an email, we'll set a meeting, and I'll actually add Chris Thorpe, our CTO, to the meeting where the three of us can finish the conversation.
Great,
I'm sure
yeah.
you'll have another list of questions that you would want to ask to make sure that we can validate and qualify this solution as something that we could potentially look at.
Perfect. And would you be an advocate for this meeting and support our company?
So far, yeah, I have no reason not to be.
Great, I'd love to hear that. Alrighty,
Certainly.
so I'll definitely be looking forward to your email. And if
Okay.
you have any questions, again, don't be scared to contact me. I'll definitely be in contact with you.
I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, I have your
Great.
contact information here. And as I said, I'll follow up with all my information as well. So
Great.
look out for that.
And for this meeting, when were you looking to do that? Hopefully next week?
It'll probably have to depend on Chris's schedule. So
Okay.
if not next week, the following week, but definitely within the next 2 weeks.
Sounds great. I'll be looking forward to that email. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure meeting you. Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.